viewed around the world.
You're gambling with World War III.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and President Trump had been talking and sometimes disagreeing for about 45 minutes Friday when things started to go south.
Second question for President Zelensky. Why don't you wear a suit? Why don't you wear a suit? You're at the highest level in this country's office and you refuse to wear a suit. Just want to see if do you own a suit?
Yeah, problems.
A lot of Americans have problems with you not respecting.
I don't have such.
Office.
I will wear a costume after this war will finish.
That was disgraceful, disgusting, disrespectful, dangerous, and bad for not just Ukraine, but bad for American national security. It felt un-American. It felt traitorous. I've never seen a reaction from veterans of all backgrounds like I have in the last couple of hours to that disgusting, demoralizing display. So I don't even want to focus too much on what was worn. I want to focus on what was said and what happened. And that was a real low point for American leadership.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here. And before we even get to the Oval Office debacle, let's start with how this became an issue in the first place.
Democrats argue Zelensky was ambushed 2 against 1.
The only winner in that exchange is Putin.
The White House has become an arm of the Kremlin.
This is why diplomacy should never be conducted in public. I'm confident, and we now know that, for example, in World War II, there were heated disagreements between Franklin Roosevelt, Joseph Stalin, and Winston Churchill, but we didn't see them broadcast on TV. This is a mistake to have it broadcast. This was not the moment that should have been televised.
It wasn't just a mistake, it was an ambush. I mean, this was a plan. This was a politically calculated ambush from all sides, right? No one would feel comfortable walking into an environment like that from any country, and no one should be treated that way. From the reporter to the greeting to the mocking of his clothes, it was beneath America.
The GOP's obsession with clothing, whether it's Zelensky's fatigues or Elon Musk showing up to the Oval Office looking like he just stepped off safari from his family's blood diamond mine, was never about decorum. They had nothing to say when Musk waltzed in, his mini-me wiping boogers under the table and telling Trump to shut the F up. This wasn't about respect. It was about humiliating Zelensky while covering for Donald Trump's failure. World leaders don't show up to war zones in tuxedos. Churchill visited the White House in military garb. Presidents go to disaster zones in windbreakers. Zelensky is literally leading a war. His outfit isn't the problem. The fact that this even become a discussion is the real scandal. While the world is on fire, MAGA is throwing tantrums over a damn sweater.
Here is J.D. Vance tweeting about this in 2023, and he says, look, I know Schumer changed the dress code, but letting someone in the Senate chamber dressed like this really crosses the line.
The Churchill comparison has been used before. In the beginning, it was a symbol of wartime leadership. But now, the right is twisting it, claiming that Zelensky is just cosplaying as a military hero. That's rich, because if we're talking about cosplaying, the right wing has a long list of wannabe heroes who love to play dress up. Kristi Noem strutting around in tactical gear like she's leading SEAL Team 6 mission? Yeah, when she's just a governor who loves photo ops. Elon Musk cosplaying as an anti-bureaucracy warrior, chainsaw in hand, pretending he's taken down the deep state? Trump, draft dodging 5 times, yet loves throwing on a bomber jacket and saluting like a wannabe general? And then yet Zelensky, the one actually fighting a war, is the one that they all accuse of playing dress up. It's the same old MAGA projection strategy. Accuse others of what they're guilty of.
You look at Trump, the first thing that comes to your mind, that boy ain't right. And we've seen so much, and we've gotten so hoo-ha, and all of the crazy things that he does, we've kind of become immune to him. Or, I mean, it's almost like a yawn. And this one just stuck out as something really, even by Trumpian standards, was hard to do something extraordinary.
James Carville didn't just throw out an insult. He practically put Donald Trump in a powdered wig and shoved him into a royal carriage on his way to a full-blown public meltdown.
But what you saw is madness. And I don't mean madness like I'm mad at you, you mad at me, you didn't say this. I'm talking about madness like King George III kind of madness. And it could be a combination of being a fat fucking slob, which of course he is. It could be that he's can't sleep at night because his beached whale body can't allow the circulation it needs. I don't know. I'm not a sleep specialist or a medical doctor. But I think we should revisit the possibility of a syphilis diagnosis.
They keep talking about bringing back the golden age of America. But which golden age? Because if Trump is their vision of a triumphant return, then we're not getting Eisenhower's America. We're getting pre-revolutionary France. King George III was famous for rambling nonsense, surrounding himself with sycophants, and having outbursts that left his advisors scrambling. And that's when Carville dropped the syphilis story. Erratic behavior? Check. Sudden mood swings? Check. Paranoia? Check. Could it be junk food, rage, and lack of sleep? Sure. Could it be something worse? Carville's just asking the questions. Here's the real takeaway. Donald Trump's biggest problem isn't just his mental decline. It's that his enablers are too spineless to stop him. Paul Rieckhoff said it best. This was un-American. This was traitorous. This was the GOP actively making America weaker because they'd rather kiss the ring than call out the madness. And J.D. Vance? He tried to play tough guy, but he got humiliated. He sat there nodding along, taking shots at Zelensky like a suka. The word Zelensky was caught in on a hot mic moment, calling Vance one. That's what happens when you side with weak men and dictators. So yeah, they can keep talking about sweaters and dress codes all that they want. But the world saw what really happened. And no amount of gaslighting or whining on Fox News is going to change the fact that Donald Trump and his bootlickers embarrassed this country on a world stage. And that is an absolute fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.